Hello.
Hello, hi Henry.
Hi, Jeff. Hi. Hi. And we are live now. And fantastic. I think we have a very good audience today.
Yeah,
Quite a number of people actually, sign up and attend our webinar. And before we start, I think I'd like to grab this opportunity to say Happy New Year to everyone.
yeah,
All right. Let us take a quick look. I think we have wow, over 70 people registered and people are still coming in.
people are still coming in, I believe.
Yep. Well, for those who have with us right now, I think again, we'd like to thank you for your time to take, some of your precious time on this Saturday afternoon to join us for this webinar. So I'm not sure whether is it a fresh new year for everyone, or is it the topic of the webinar that actually attract, a very good turnout today.
This is a very interesting topic actually for this new year, brand new year. Yeah. So there's a lot of I think interesting incentive that we will be sharing more later.
I'm sure there will be a lot of people who would like to find out. That's one of the reasons they are here. And shall we give just a couple more minutes?
Yeah.
Us, wait for some more people to come in.
Yeah.
Maybe they're still trying to connect to us. All right. And once again, for those who are with us right now, hope you are in the right place. Thank you for joining us for this webinar on this Saturday, 2 p.m. We're going to talk about stamp duty updates. All right, so I hope today's presentations, today's webinar can really give some updates to experienced investors or purchasers, or even information that we share out with new friends that just join us.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a quick look. Let me have an update. Wow, we have like Mr. Fu, Miss Jessica, Angela, Josh, Peter. Wow, a lot of.
Yeah, I think
a lot of people. Yeah.
People coming in now. So maybe you just give another few minutes, and I think by going through that later we will share one of our corporate videos so that you guys can understand more about our company, Jalin Realty.
All right. While people are still, while we are waiting, why not, go over to your chat tab, say hi to us, say hello, type in hello in the chat. Hi, Josh. Right. Hi, Judith. Fantastic turnout today. Okay, maybe let's start in just 1 minute's time.
Yeah.
Okay, this is actually our disclaimer page. So later on, we're going to present maybe a fair bit of numbers. I hope you can, take away some of the distractions at home, wherever you are, and try to follow us on the numbers. Hope that it's not misleading. All right, but ultimately, of course, maybe at this point, we like to disclaim ourselves that myself and Jeff will be with Jalin for, I think, almost like 7 years. Yeah, I would say we went through probably only a half a cycle of property. We went through a lot of changes, a lot of market turns, up and downs. We have the recent lockdowns from last year, and I think things are turning out better with the vaccination, in the pipeline. There's a lot of testings, a lot of trials going on. I understand, Jeff, in Malaysia, there is a recent lockdown, isn't it?
Yeah, we just started, I think, on Wednesday. Yeah, so now we are in lockdowns for 2 weeks. So hopefully for after this lockdown, then the numbers can come down again, and then we are in better control.
Okay, and I'm going on to the next slide. And those who are tech savvy with social media, do join us. On Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on channel. All right, you can scan the QR code, or you can just simply go to the platforms and search for us. I think we have a lot of different Jardine Realty offices in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Hong Kong, China, and as well as our Jardine Australia office, Melbourne office. So follow us. We have a lot of line up a lot of marketing events, a lot of webinars, and hopefully, if we are going to open up for this COVID, we can, eventually meet up on a face-to-face basis. All right, do scan the QR code. You can join us. You can follow us. All right, I think Jeff, shall we start? I think to be fair to those audience that actually joined us earlier on.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, once again, I thank you everyone for joining us for this webinar on this Saturday. So so let's start off with our corporate video so that we will share with you what our company is all about. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's watch.
总部位于澳大利亚墨尔本的嘉宁国际是一家专注于房地产服务的专业机构。创立至今的30多年来，嘉宁国际以德为本，以诚立身，辛勤耕耘，积累了丰富的房产物业投资经验，足迹遍布了澳大利亚、中国、新加坡、马来西亚、印尼、文莱和香港等国家和地区。30多年来，嘉宁始终坚持着公司的愿景与理念，以职业道德为价值观，帮助每一位客户成功置业澳洲。
嘉宁国际地产公司能从马来西亚、印度尼西亚、新加坡、澳大利亚和中国持续成长30多年，是全靠嘉宁长期坚持公司的理念和愿景而来。嘉宁是个专业的服务公司，我们的平台是通过房地产这个渠道，制造许多实际与可靠的机会，与大家分享，让大家生活变得更美好。
Our core values are derived from the word ethics, and we break it into excellence in performance, teamwork among our employees, honesty in our business dealings, integrity and innovation in our actions, commitment towards our work, and sincere relationship.
与澳洲数百家开发商均有着长期而稳定的友好合作，其代理的众多地产项目遍布悉尼、墨尔本、布里斯班、黄金海岸、珀斯等首府城市。优越的地段、舒适便捷的生活环境、具有竞争力的价格，每一个项目都经过筛选。成熟的团队和后期服务部门，也为嘉宁的客户提供了舒心的投资体验。客户的认可是对嘉宁最大的鼓励。每一位嘉宁人将始终坚持嘉宁的愿景与理念，不断提高自身专业水平和服务，助您更加安心地置业澳洲。嘉宁国际，圆您澳洲梦。
We are Jialing Melbourne. We are Jialing Shanghai.
We are Jialing Beijing.
We are Jialing Singapore. We are Jialing Jakarta.
We are Jialing Malaysia.
Okay, welcome back everyone. Hi. Yeah, let's introduce us again. So I'm Jeff. I'm in KL, and today we have Henry as well. So from Singapore. So we'll be sharing more about latest stamp duty update for today's session. So before we start on the stamp duty, so let me introduce our company, Jardine Realty. So we are marketing. We are not only a marketing specialist in off-the-plan project company. So we are an end-to-end solution company. So we have our offices in Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, China, and Hong Kong as well. So we provide end-to-end solution to all of our clients. So we are not only selling project marketing. So after sales of project, and then we have our settlement team as well to help you through the whole settlement process. And after settlement process, also we have our property managers team. So based in Melbourne. So all of our clients actually we can help them regarding on the rental, leasing, and even after leasing at the stage of resales. When you want to dispose your property in Australia, actually we have our team in Jialin, Melbourne to help you regarding on the resales as well. Yeah. So other than that, we will have a partner with a tax agent, solicitor to help you through the whole process of buying property in Australia. Yeah. Okay. So come back to today's topic. So this is about the latest stamp duty. So I think Henry will share with us more regarding on the stamp duty update. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Jeff. All right, and then once again, my name is Henry, and thank you for joining us. And without further ado, I'm going to dive right straight into sharing with you about some of the stamp duties, foreign duties, and some of the updates that we've gotten from the government initiative. So this is a very quick definition of stamp duty. So of course, everyone, stamp duty is nothing new to all of us. All right, something is a tax that is paid to the government. But I think on this slide, the point to take away is why government actually imposed stamp duties is to collect the fees, the taxes, as a source of revenue to improve their infrastructures, to improve their amenities in their local, government, their local area. All right, we have seen over the years a lot of new infrastructures done by the Australian governments in various states, especially we'll concentrate today Melbourne for today's webinar. So we have come across like the metro tunnel, the suburban rail loop, the airport, link, the highway. So all these are actually the source of revenue for the government to improve the infrastructures. Now, speaking of infrastructure, that will actually directly as well as indirectly also impact the property prices.
Yeah.
Right. So moving next, very quickly, a lot of this data I got it from the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade in Australia. So it's just a very quick tabulation of looking at who are actually investing in Australia. So this data actually at the end of 2019, I believe 2020 data is not out yet. But as you can see, Singapore ranked number 6. We have a certain amount of investment into overseas as well as the amount into Australia. And not forgetting, right down below, we have our Malaysia friends as well, our Malaysia government also putting in. So very surprised that we can see that US is ranked number 1. If for people who are interested, where is China? They are ranked number 9. All right. So with this, of course, government would want to impose what we call the additional duty. All right. I think this foreign duty it has many names. All right. A lot of people probably being confused by it. In various states they call it differently. In layman terms, we sometimes call it foreign levy, foreign duties, foreign stamp duty, additional stamp duty, so on and so forth. All right. But I would like to with reference to Singapore context. In Singapore, we also have ABSD, additional buyer stamp duty. All right. And in comparison with the slides later on, how much is foreigners paying to buy Singapore properties? It's as much as 20%. All right. This have not include the basic stamp duty yet. But on this slide, just to debunk some of the names, especially in Victoria, very commonly we use additional foreign duty, foreign levy. But sometimes in the contract, we see names like foreign purchaser additional duty, FPAD. But in other states like Western Australia, Perth, they will just simply call it foreign buyer's duty, or in New South Wales, which is Sydney, they call it surcharge purchaser duty. Yeah. All right, Queensland is AFAD, additional foreign acquired duty. But basically, they are all referring to the same thing. As long as you are a foreigner who wishes to buy into Australian properties, these are the additional stamp duty on top of the transfer duty. When I say on top of the transfer duty is like the basic stamp duty or the normal stamp duty. All right. And my next slide, I'm going to give a very quick history lesson. So actually, for the past few years, different states, this is actually by state law. So different states actually impose their own individual stamp duty and additional stamp duty. So I will start off with Victoria. Even back in almost 5 years ago, 1st of July 2015, Victoria is the first state who started this additional stamp duty at 3%. and then following by New South Wales in 2016, and then Victoria up again to 7%, and then income, Queensland comes in with a 3%. All right, and then as you can see, even Western Australia, who came in, afterwards in 1st of January 2019, with they straight away start off with 7%. So as of current, as of date, all right, for each state, for Victoria, the additional foreign stamp duty that you are expected to pay to the government is 8%. For Victoria, New South Wales is 8%. Queensland and Western Australia is 7%. All right.
Yeah.
So this is just to give a very quick example. All right. So I'm just using easy numbers like $500,000 property price at 500,000. We'll just focus just on Victoria, 500,000. So based on the stamp duty calculation, it's about 5% of it. 25,000 basic stamp duty. On top of that, there will be 8% of the property price, which is 40,000. So the total is 65. And as you can see, New South Wales, Western Australia, and Queensland, that is also in the range of the 50,000s. Now, at this slide, I just want to highlight to a point that a lot of investors may feel that, wow, it's a lot of money. All right. Again, I want to say that if you compare to Singapore, my home country here, the foreigners have to pay 20%. Well, some investors might argue, say that it's different or stuff. But in Australia, yes, it is something different. One of the good thing about stamp duty payable in Australia, you can actually use it to offset, to claim against what we call a capital gains tax later on. So I'm going to give towards the end of the presentation, I'm going to give you an example on this, what I'm talking about. All right. Now, so very quickly, we have latest news from the two governments, basically the Victoria and Western Australia. So to start with Victoria, so government initiative, I think started from last year. All right, for new contracts, they actually signed after 25th of November, and it's going to last until the end date will be the 1st of July this year, 2021. This waiver is only applicable to residential, not for commercial property. All right, and this waiver is only applies to the what we call the basic transfer duty. All right, sorry, it's not going to be on the foreign buyer duty. So what are the various waivers? All right, for new property, so basically is when we say new property is actually either off the plan before construction, or maybe completed by the developer. All right, you have a 50% waiver for the apartment units. For existing properties, we are actually referring to resale market. So maybe the second waiver is more for the Australians, the local residents, for PRs, for New Zealanders. All right, they have an enjoyment of this 25%. All right, on top of that, of course, they would have the locals who have their own government subsidized first homeowners grant, so on and so forth. Last but not least, on vacant land, maybe for some of the new fans who may be still wondering, yes, as foreigners, you can buy land, house and land in Australia. And the beauty of house and land is the stamp duty, and as well as any additional foreign stamp duty is only calculated based on the land price. All right. For that, for this government incentive, government is going to waive off 25% of it. And another criteria or another criteria that the government actually input is only for property value up to $1 million. Okay. So moving next, we have Western Australia. All right. So just to share on Western Australia, it also applies to residential property only, not on commercial. And this Western Australia has this pre-construction contract. All right. It actually started back in October 19, but it's going to last for 2 years until this year, 23rd of October. All right, inclusive of to purchase any new residential unit or apartment. And the good thing is this rebate applies to both the transfer duty as well as Western Australia's 7% foreign buyer's duty, if applicable, unless you are a PR or you are a local resident. Of course, you are not impacted by the foreign duty. All right, they have also a cap. The rebate amount is 75% of the total duty paid, but they are capping it at 50,000. All right, for the pre-construction contract. So you may be wondering if, let's say, one of your questions is going to be, Henry, can I buy a, do I get to enjoy this rebate if I were to purchase a development that has already started construction? Sorry to say the answer would be no, because that offer actually have ended last year. So you don't get to enjoy. So for this rebate, it's actually only for what we call off-the-plan contracts. All right. And last but not least, Western Australian government is not putting any cap on the purchase price or any value of the unit or apartments. So you can be looking in more than 1 million, 2 million apartments. All right. For the purpose of this webinar, we will just focus on Melbourne. So I'd like to pass the time back to Jeff. Maybe he can share with us more on using two developments that we're going to share today to show you to compare the various stamp duty payable on the incentive. Right, Jeff?
Yeah, sure. So actually, later on, I will share more about the calculation, the numbers regarding on the stamp duty rebate we are getting during this time. So I have actually two different development I will be sharing today. So first one, this is house and land project which is located in west of Melbourne. So it's in Mambury. It's called Mambury Estate. So I will start off with a video of the master plan of the project. So you guys can have a look on the nice master plan of this project Mambury. Yeah.
Imagine a new kind of community in Melbourne's thriving west. With a future train station, town centre, and every amenity, no more than 5 minutes from your door. Imagine feeling inspired by learning, with plans for a school, kinder, library, even a performing arts centre. With a choice of planned nature reserves and parks you'll love to discover, and fun playgrounds to explore. Or imagine being a future member of an exclusive residents-only leisure centre. So health and well-being easily fits into your busy daily routine. Or better still, finding the one. The perfect home you've been searching for. Where you and those you love can feel part of a connected and close-knit community. A community that's designed to last. For families today and in the future. Welcome to Mambury, a new kind of community delivered by Fraser's Property Australia. We have a rich history of creating proud communities. An experienced team, we have built our reputation on designing unique spaces. At Fraser's Property, we not only have a vision, but take great pride in bringing it to life. Why just imagine?
Yeah, so you can see that this is a very great master plan project by Fraser Property. So that's the summary of the whole estate. So here is one of the examples that actually you are able to grab this opportunity of the government initiative to enjoy the rebate on the stamp duty, huge saving on the stamp duty. So we are talking about this house and land project first. So this is in, it's called Mambury Estate. So we have a land size varies from 294 square meter to even the bigger land lot, which is up to about 700 square meter. So the land price is starting from 245,000 to 370,000 on the land value itself. So estimated, this is how the numbers will work. So this is the estimated stamp duty calculation based on current incentive. So let's say the first one, let's say the land price is at 245,000. So the stamp duty, the local stamp duty, which is you have to pay, which is about 5% of the 245,000, which is come to 9,770. So, but during this period, while the stamp duty waiver is coming in, so it's to 25%. This is house and land. So this is 25% on the land value. This is the discount we are getting, which is 2,400. And the land, so after this discount, so which the land transfer duty payable, which is at 7,300, and together with the foreign stamp duty, if you are foreigner, so 8%, which is 19,600. So the estimated total stamp duty payable during this period, if you are purchasing now, which is 26,928. So you save that 25,000 on this during this period. Yeah. So let's say on the right hand side, which is on the bigger land size, which is at 370,000. So the land stamp duty payable is actually only 12,900, which is you are enjoying a 4,300 discount waiver, which is 25%. And the estimated total stamp duty for foreigner as well, so which is come to 42,000. But actually you save 25,000 on this during this period. So this is a example of the house and land project. And then next one, this is another future development, which is in Burwood, located in the east of Melbourne CBD, which is called Brickworks. So same, I will play a short video regarding on this. So you will see the whole summary of the master plan project as well. So let's enjoy.
Everyone's been waiting in anticipation of what's going to happen with this site. For me, the excitement was in what can this turn into? What type of community can we create here? We want to push the boundaries continually over and over and over again. For us, it starts with master planning.
Okay, as you can see, this Brickworks is actually a master plan consists of house and land and also apartment. So here we will talk about apartment. So how does the stamp duty works during this waiver period? So you can see here, so we have feature 1 bedroom, 2 bed, 1 bath, and also 2 bed, 2 bath pricing. So 1 bed, 1 bath with 1 car space is start from 442,000, and then 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom with 1 car is 577,000 onwards, and also 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 1 car also from 662,000. And stamp duty on the apartment at the moment for the discount is actually 50%. So this is different from the house and land project. So for apartment, stamp duty is calculated based on the purchase price. So let's say this for the 1 bedroom, 442,000. So you are able to enjoy a 50% rebate, which is $10,795. And the estimated total stamp duty payable for this is actually 46,155. So actually you save 50% on the local land transfer duty. And then example so on also is on the 2 bedroom, which is at 577,000, and also the amount you are able to save during this waiver period is 14,845. So there's a huge saving on this stamp duty at the moment. And another one, which is 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom. So the amount you are able to save is 17,395. So as you can see the numbers here, you are able to save quite a numbers of on the stamp duty itself during this period. So I think these are the summary of the number that we're able to grab this opportunity during this period. And okay, so next on, so I will bring Henry back again. So Henry will explain on more in details about the capital gain tax example on this one. Hi, Henry.
All right, thank you, Jeff. All right, so so far we actually shared a very quick understanding of the stamp duty, the additional stamp duty, the government incentive that came in to assist, especially the local purchasers. But this incentive does also applies to foreign purchase as well. The only difference is Victoria doesn't include the foreign transfer duty. But if any purchasers or investors who are interested in Western Australia, do let us know because we also have projects in other states as well. All right, and coming back to our slides, I guess this is one of the I would say this is one of the most important slides of throughout our whole webinar.
Yeah.
I really want to debunk this misconception that a lot of people, a lot of coffee shop chat saying that Australian tax are high. All right, we will agree to that. All right, Australian tax comes in 3 tiers and it's as high as 45%. But it's not just simply taking the tax and just multiply on your gains and pay to the government, because there is a lot of deductions that you can offset, to lower down your taxable income, thus lowering the amount of tax that you pay. So on this, I'm going to use a very simple example again. So on this slide, let's assume that the purchase price is 500,000, and maybe you have purchased this property a couple of years back, and today you actually sell it for, or you are planning to sell it for gains of 200,000. That means selling at a price of 700,000. The gains is actually 200,000, and you have maybe paid again an easy number, including the stamp duty, as well as over the years you may accumulate what we call negative gearing in the negative kind of income, property income tax that you actually can accumulate, and other deductions like even the agent selling price commission. All this can be deducted. And of course, we will introduce a tax agent to assist you on that. You need not worry. But let's assuming for argument's sake, it's 50,000. So a lot of people in scenario 1 misunderstood that, Henry, how much is the Australian tax? Is as high as 45%, and they simply just take their gains of 200,000 multiplied by 45%. They pay like 90,000 tax to government, and after much calculation, they feel that it's not worth buying Australian property because after tax, I only get back half the profit, which is in this first example is 110. But that is not the case. Right? A lot of times where we have we talk to customers more in depth, we have to talk about deductions first. So in my second scenario, using the same example, if your gains is 200,000, you minus all the deductions where the tax agents will actually assist you with, and say you left with 150,000 taxable gains, and that means you are actually in the second tier. If you refer to the table on the left, the second tier is your gains between the 90,000 and 180,000. You will be taxed for that 37%. But even when I say 37% is not quite right, because I did my own calculation. If I were to take 150 times 37%, it's going to be a higher value. According to the budget from last year and all the way until this year, June 30th, 2021, until their next budget, they have a formula, they have a calculation. So with that, I apply the formula, and the tax payable is actually lower. It's only 51,450. If I were to take that away from the original gains that I have, I've actually profited close to 150,000. Now, in the next scenario, we have seen a lot of cases where a husband and wife, or even between friends, they join to buy property. And that is also probably one of the advice that the tax agent may give, that is one way, to actually lower down paying less taxes. All right. So in capital gains tax, again, using 200,000 minus whatever, all the stamp duty in total, all paid already, it will be 150. But in this scenario, in this third scenario, you actually separate between the two individuals. So say it's 50-50, because each individual will have their own individual tax file number. So government will look at it as individually that, okay, this first person, their gain is only 75,000, and that falls right back into the first tier. And the first tier states that is 32.5 cents for each $1. So applying that formula, each person only pays 24,000, about 24,000 tax. But the next step is I actually take back both the individual and combine them together. In total, two people pay only 48,000. And minusing off the original gains, so the total profit is actually slightly higher, 151,000. Now this is just a very general example that we want to actually debunk to a lot of our clients, our investors, how actually stamp duty works. Why is this additional stamp duty? And though is the Australian tax could be high, but there are ways to actually, with proper tax planning, all right, this is something I learned from the tax agent. With proper tax planning, right, you actually lower down your tax. And in fact, for the first few years when you buy an investment property, there's a lot of deductions that I have not even mentioned, like the mortgage interest that you can deduct, every year when you deduct, right? And generally, the first few years, right, say from 5 to 7 years, you need not even pay the property income tax, all right? And when you're in the negative zone, right, which is negative, you can in fact accumulate and apply it to your CGT, that means the capital gains tax. So I mean, it sounds very confusing right now, but actually the purpose of ultimately today's webinar, we are fortunate to actually partner up with our tax agent. Mr. Chun Chong is actually from Essence Point. He's Malaysian Chinese, known my CEO for a long time, who's also based in Australia right now. We are very fortunate to partner up with him. We are already, I called him yesterday. We are planning for our next webinar, and it's going to be on tax. All right, and much more tax matters. It's not just stamp duty. Is very basic. It's very straightforward. You just apply, you pay, right? But as an investors and purchasers, you may have more questions about what are the various tax that may impact. Like over here it says that maybe the font is a bit too small. Tax minimization is actually legal. All right, you do it the proper way. We are not asking you to evade any tax, not paying tax, but with proper tax planning, you can actually lower down your tax payable. So do follow us on our social media platforms. All right, maybe we can actually take a quick look. Jeff, is there any questions? Oh, okay. Please advise commencement of your project. Okay, so Mr. Chow, for the purpose of this webinar, we will come back to you, or the consultant will go back to you, because actually today I may be scolded by the CEO, but we are not doing any selling today. All right, we just want to share this first piece of news for the brand new year to just have a basic understanding of stamp duty. But we will get to you about, if you would like to find out more about the project, be it the house and land, be it the apartments, we will share land.
Yeah.
So, any other questions? Let me take a look.
Please, do we have any other question? Yeah. So I think this is a good time for our investor, for our client to look into project sales again because of the stamp duty waiver by the government. So I think for Melbourne until before July this year. So I think it's a good time to start looking into buying Australian property at the moment. Yeah, with the huge stamp duty saving.
Okay, Jeff, I got one question over here. This client is asking, if let's say they buy the apartment, but settlement only takes place after like end of the year. All right. Do they still qualify for the waiver? The answer is yes.
Yes.
That means how the Australian government looks at it, as long as you enter, you sign a contract, all right, within the period. That means for Victoria,
before 1st of July this year. Yeah.
Yes. You sign the contract before 1st of July this year. Your settlement may take place end of the year. Your settlement may take place next year. It doesn't matter. You are still qualified for the waiver. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can I enjoy the waiver more than one time? Okay, I believe if we are talking, maybe this client is asking is it only one waiver per person? All right. So the answer is no. It's not one waiver per person. You can buy as many purchase as you want. All right. The waiver is actually
it's based on the purchase. Yeah.
It's based on the contract.
Yeah.
So you can buy 5 units, 5 separate contracts. You enjoy the waiver 5 times for each your contract. All right. So it's not limited to only one purchase.
Yeah. And then next, I think there are still a few questions coming in. So let's see. Hi, Mr. This is Mr. Wani. So can we have a look at the chart of the tax deduction again? Yeah.
Okay, I think we have a bit of time. I'm not sure, is Mr. Wani talking about the deduction as in this one?
I think, yeah, it's the capital gain tax, yeah.
Okay, well, let's give me a bit, 1-2 minutes to let me have to look at this slide. All right. How about Mr. Wee or Mr. Lee?
Mr. Lee.
Stamp duty only applied on off the plan concession 675 and not the entire purchase price. Okay, maybe let me try to take this question. For Western Australia, all right, we mentioned that there is this basic stamp duty, and there is this 7% additional foreigner duty. When you add these two duty up in total, the government actually rebate you 75% of it. That means you only effectively only pay 25%. All right. So yeah, and it's only for pre-construction project. So like I mentioned, in the Western Australia side, the Western Australia government is incentive, right? For right now until October this year, all right, it's only applied to pre-construction. That means off the plan purchase. If you are buying if you're already looking into an apartment that is already under construction, this offer has already over. It was last year, so you don't get to enjoy the 75%. So last but not least, the last point to mention is, out of that 75%, there is a cap of 50,000.
Yeah.
Right. So depending on what is the value of your property. So back to Mr. Vani, he was looking at the deductions. But in any case, if any customer or Mr. Vani wish to understand or do not quite understand what we are presenting over here, do get in touch with us, or we'll have a sales consultant to follow up with you.
Yeah, we can always do a one-to-one session to explain further in details with you, I think. Yeah.
And right. So Mr. Vani said yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And this, I guess Mr. Wong is asking, can foreign buyers get loans from the banks? So again, today's topic webinars, we did not mention anything about loans, but to answer your question, well, let me give a very clear answer. All right, when you say banks, if let's say for me, I'm based here in Singapore, we can get loans from the Singapore banks to buy Australia properties, but even our local banks, they have their own criteria, their own requirements. All right, so this one, I won't go into in-depth, but we can take it offline to mention, to talk more in-depth. If you're asking about Australian banks, sorry to say, right now, the 4 major banks or the retail banks are not really providing loans to foreigners to buy the Australian properties. But we do have other private lenders who actually come into the market to actually provide such loans to purchasers. And last but not least, we also have our own in-house mortgage broker, Ms. Fiona Wong, who's based in Australia. So with a mortgage broker, she can actually provide an unbiased kind of position to assess, your financial muscle, your financial status, to see whether how much loan you can get to assess it before you apply for the actual loan. All right. So this Mr. Chow is asking, any approval required for funds transfer to Australia? So far, I would say no need, because for all my customers, we don't really need any approval.
Yeah.
Any funds transfer.
So I think
all right. So once again, I think we kind of we can wrap things up.
We can wrap up.
And once again, I want to have a bit of airtime to mention that we are really planning for our next exciting webinar. It's going to be on tax. So do follow us on our social media platform. All right. We will also send out our invitations to join if you wish to find out more on tax matters. We'll introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Chun Chong. He will let me know his availability, and then we will plan out that webinar. And then, So with that, do you have anything from your side?
That's about. So just to I think let our client know about also. So just get in touch with us if you want to ask any question you want to know more about a project, so that then we can explain to you offline, one-to-one session, so you can get more in-depth on the information we will be sharing.
Okay, great. I think we have some questions, but it's not really related to stamp duty, but we will get to them.
Yeah.
We'll get the questions to the customers. All right, so with that,
in touch with you again later on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, I thank you so much again, and really have a good weekend ahead.
Yes.
We shall see you next time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Jeff. Bye, everyone.
Bye.